Remember this area from earlier? Well, we got a Poe here, but other than that, it kind of seemed like a mystery. And I have the magic armor on, not because I feel threatened by these guys, especially with that great spin, but just because, you know, there are going to be 3 more treasure chests with 100 rupees, and I want to be able to fill them all. Why would I take the Dominion Rod off? I have no idea. So what you want to do here is, first of all, make it so that you can get here by just jumping, which now we can do. It's amazing how Link can't jump unless it's off a ledge. I mean, could you imagine that? Like, that's exactly the opposite. He won't jump from on the ground, but he will jump when... But he will jump when it's off a ledge, even if there's nothing there. One thing that you can do, I think... No, you can't actually control it if you're on it, so that's too bad. So yeah, this can be kind of troublesome. But eventually you'll figure it out, like I think I just did. You know what? I don't need to do all this useless stuff, actually. So let's take the magic armor off. Move this thing all the way over here if you want to get those 100 rupees. I don't need them. In fact, yep, I don't even care about them. Oh, Epona, you were right here. You went all the way over here for me. Thank you. No, she doesn't really do that. I made her come over here. Yeah. On from behind, which you should never do in real life. And now we get hidden character number 5, which is very close to here, which we don't even need to warp. I mean, you could warp to somewhere, I guess, but it wouldn't help you that much because, well, the character in question is going to be over here. You know, I love these games where you can see the map while you're running. It's really good. And not like Metroid, where it's like so tiny and like it's all blurred. I mean Metroid Prime. I'm really not too familiar with the original Metroid games. But, whatever. I just suck. I mean, you remember, I did a Let's Fail classic of Metroid. Didn't I? I believe I did. 100 rupees in there. To get that one, you kind of got to be a little tricky. What you have to do is, well, first of all, that is not what you have to do to get this. But what you have to do is, first of all, get there, and then make the owl statue go right here, so you can do a jump. And since that one's not too hard, how about we get it? Jeez. Cheese. Cheese and bread. Yeah, that's something I used to say. Cheese and bread. Well, I didn't make it up, though. My friend did. Yeah, we had a lot of, you know, catchphrases. Like, don't charge, discharge, you know. It's really the stupidest thing, but whatever. Anyway, so now we got hidden character number 5. It actually says, it looks like the number 5. But yeah, I believe it would have been the same no matter what order, so who knows. The last one's in Kakariko Gorge, but like I said, I'll show this one because it's not too hard, and I think it's actually kind of cool how they make you do this. Like, they don't really make you do these kind of jumps too often, but, well, here you go. And we get 100 rupees. And the reason, you know, if you don't have a lot of rupees, you are going to want to get these because there is something that's coming up very soon that you're going to need a lot of rupees for, and yes, it is a requirement. Luckily, there's a warp point in Kakariko Gorge, which I really feel like it's the only time that this really comes in handy, this warp point in Kakariko, no, not Kakariko Village, this one, Kakariko Gorge. Now, it's kind of weird how Kakariko Gorge is, like, to the east of Kakariko Village. I always really thought of it as being south, and, like, just, oh well. And of course, it would be west in the GameCube version, so that's always confusing. Anyway, the place you want to go, this area, it's kind of difficult to look for stuff, so just remember, if you are playing the GameCube version, you're going to be going to the left. And, yeah, that wasn't a gold one, that was just a yellow one. And there is a treasure chest you can get here, but it's tedious, really tedious. But to get the character might be the easiest one. It's one of the easy ones where you don't have to do any platforming. Just like the one in Farron Woods. And it looks like something you'd see under a microscope. And now it's filled with the missing characters. It's a clue to finding the path to the sky. I'll try to explain how you get this, though. Well, it might not be too bad, but it does kind of seem like something that you would... Yeah, you make it go over here, and then over there. So, yeah, there you go. But like I said, if you're short on rupees, definitely get them. I'll even tell you how many you need. You're going to need 300. Do we need to warp? We really don't. We're right there. No, well, okay. That was kind of useless. And as long as we're, already started walking, might as well finish walking, right? I didn't feel like getting my horse call out, so I'm just running as a wolf. That's a way to waste time. We would have been there like 30 seconds sooner if I just warped. Anyways, yeah, we're in Kakariko Village now, which is where we need to be. I believe this might even be the final time we need to come here, unless we're just navigating, which is stupid. I don't know why we would. You can just warp. Sometimes, this is something I would never do in a Let's Play, obviously, but I just love this world so much that I sometimes just like to go places without warping. Because you can do that. Well, unless you're trying to get from Gerudo Desert back to Lake Hylia. Even though you can see it. Wasn't that the stupidest thing? It seems like all the time you do something and then you don't realize it's stupid until too later. But that one, it's like I knew it was stupid. And even though he walked out, he's conveniently back here, which is good. Yeah, the Dominion Rod wouldn't work on this. Not until you activate it. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped the text. But all he says is, "Oh, thank you. You're amazing, Link. Now let's try this." Yeah. And now the statue wakes up. And it looks just like any other statue. It is taken on the same shape as the... Well, the shape is different. It's just... thought we'd solve the last of the riddles. I must apologize, Link. I need to cool off a tad. He doesn't really look like he's yelling at all. And so... notice how he just kind of... Oh, he's over there? Well, what the heck? Whatever. That kind of thing happens a lot in video games. So, whoa, we get a cutscene this time, and it's the most important statue in the game, and also the last time we're going to be using the Dominion Rod. And now, we're at the dreaded location, known as the Cannon Room. Okay, I'll explain this. How in blazes did you move that statue, and what's this? So yeah, apparently it was a clue to getting in the sky, but no, it's just a cannon. Someone could have built that. But apparently it's the sky cannon, so it's all epic and ancient and all that. How can we use this to get this to the city in the sky? So yeah, that's where we're trying to go, apparently, because that's where the last thing is. Okay. Here we go. Don't save, okay? Do not save here. Because if you do, your game will be stuck. And that's the reason this guy is so infamous. Stunning, I feel almost nervous. Just think, if we could get to this work, we could actually reach the city in the sky. A cannon, huh? What do you plan to do with this, Link? Warp. Except that guy is still watching us. Okay. Now, at first I'm like, oh, why do you have to talk to that? Like, of course. And then I realized something else. That little programming in the game that says, oh, you can't, perhaps I'm in your way. Well, forgive me for not realizing. Now, if you save in here, yeah, there seems to be broken, so you do well to show it to a canon expert first, I would say. Okay. So he goes up here. I wonder if I put him... Oh. If you try to leave the room... Oh. What? Whatever. I guess it's only if he was standing there. Okay. So basically what happens is that if you save in the room, he pretty much disappears. So you can't talk to him to tell him to get the hell out. But if you walk up here, he'll stop you. Okay. But he's not here now. We'll warp. But that's only if you save in this room. Okay? So just don't save in this room and you're fine. Plus, I also believe that a new version of Twilight Princess came out, and it fixed that. I have the version that did it. I know that because I tested it on a copied file. Anyway, so yes, we're warping, and he said show it to a canon expert, and well, one of those happens to live in Lake Highland. Remember the guy that runs the canon game? Well, he's the, he's the obviously the only guy you would think of when it comes to a canon expert. So that's who we got to take it to. So yes, the canon does definitely appear broken. Does definitely. That's a strange combination of words. So we are almost in the city of in the sky, which is the next dungeon. And after that, then the game is like the dungeons come back to back to back, pretty much. Because the sky obviously is the place where we need the last of the Mirror of Twilight. I always wonder why like they're all like doing that. Like, do they even know about the Mirror of Twilight? Yeah, I think they did because Aru was telling us about it. Anyway, right now, it's not much use. However, let's change into a human and speak to Mr. I'm making this video long because the city in the sky is basically a dungeon. Well, it is a dungeon. In fact, many consider it to be the hardest dungeon in the game. Hey, buddy. So, is that yours? I think that's so funny. He's like, is that yours? Like a cannon? Like, because no one really brings cannon in. But I never thought you'd get hooked on your fantastication that you try to build your own cannon. So you're going to give me the tour or what? Looks like you have a serious rig over there. So you think, oh, okay, I'll talk to this guy and he's going to fix it. But no. Because business people, I mean, maybe. That is if you can pay me 300 rupees in advance. Well, it's cheaper than Tingle, so why not? I'll just be a sec. So obviously this guy is not nearly as notorious as Tingle. In fact, I don't think anyone's as notorious as Tingle. So that's kind of funny. How he builds the cannon. So let's, the cannon completely works now. Has an ignition device, or whatever he called it. Here we go, buddy. All working as it should, I think. It may look like junk, but this thing's got some powerful innards. You're going to be knocking on the door to the heavens. Seriously, bud. It might be rough. Sorry for soaking you in the dough. I'll leave you alone. Well, we don't need any more rupees for the rest of the game, unless we want to buy some potions, which are kind of useless since we can just get fairies. And once we have all 60 pos, I think... Well, no, that doesn't get us great fairy tears. It gets us something else. But once we do something else, we will be able to get the great fairy tears whenever we want. So yeah, the ignition device is apparently a claw shot target. Oh, can't forget about them. You just knew they'd come. Or no, actually, you probably forgot about them. I know I did. And this is where they're trying to get. And even though they can flutter for a little bit, they can't fly. So now we finally return them home. I don't know what they were doing away from home in the first place. I don't know why she was in every single dungeon. But I think she was just looking for the thing, and she finally found it in the Temple of Time. Okay. This is dungeon number 7. Gracious, we made it back. Finally, welcome, adventurer. This is the Sky City of the Uka. Or since you came all this way, I guess I can give you a tour of the city. Eek! Whoa! This area always reminded me of Skytown from Metroid Prime 3. I mean, it really does, doesn't it? And yes, you can see that it's actually a whole species of Uku. Goodness, brave adventure, you won't believe it. There's a dragon raging outside the city walls. No, I didn't just see it. Well, I'm terribly worried about everyone. I'm going to check in that shop for survivors. And you know, what the heck, I'll record some more, you know. I love this dungeon. I love all the dungeons in this game. But this is a dungeon that a lot of people don't like because it's hard. And you know, a lot of people consider this game to be, you know, a pretty easy game. This is pretty much the one part that actually I think that a lot of people would say is hard about this game. This dungeon right here. Okay? So, let's go over here. this dungeon is very unique among the Zelda series. So yeah, as you can see already, there's wind that's pushing us off. The enemies are just David Babas, so that's not exactly threatening, but, well, it's more than just the enemies here. We go over here, and what is it? It's a shop. Yes, a shop in a dungeon. You can buy things here, you know, not exactly the best things. I mean, blue potions go, but other than that, I mean, I guess you might need arrows or bombs. But lantern oil, I don't even know when you need that. And there's an empty space. I don't even know if you need it. But, anyway, talk to Uku and Uku Jr. You're planning on walking around in the city and taking it in. Yeah, so... she does not do the same thing that she does in every other dungeon, where you can leave the dungeon and then come back to the same space you were. So she's not as useful in this dungeon. But I guess just because, you know, it is the city in the sky, she doesn't want to leave the sky now that she's here. So what she will do is basically, she'll warp you back to the shop anytime you want. Better than nothing. Yeah, I really do wonder... Nope, there's nothing supposed to. Okay, now here's something funny. I'm not even gonna buy all these items, but, okay. If you buy something, she actually says something funny. Okay, if you buy bombs, she says, "Why did I invest in stock that the Uka can't use?" And if you buy arrows, she says, "I figured out that Uka don't have bows after I ordered these." And the other stuff she just says, normal things. Anyway, whoa, this was a long video, but, we're good now. Next video, we're gonna be tackling this dungeon. Yes, it is considered a dungeon, and later on you will see that it's more like a normal dungeon, but, man, it's difficult. Okay, so we'll start from the beginning, but next video.